Is this the International Office Building?
Oh no, you are in the landscape architecture building. But the international office is this way. You just go out straight and you'll find a big white building. In the basement, you'll find the office you're looking for.
So, white building in the basement.
Yep.
And you said landscape architecture.
Yep.
What does this degree has to offer?
Well, you can think about it as architecture in the way that you are designing places, so you have to play with a creative way and mix it with a technical part, but it's completely different when it comes to scale. Architecture is focusing on buildings, where landscape architecture is like it ranges from urbanism to smaller private gardens, so you can play with a lot more stuff.
Really?
Yep.
It does sound interesting.
It is.
But I was noticing this, I don't really know what it is, I'm sorry.
Well, it's a model, this one. Actually, it's a group work. And so on the designing part, which is like the most interesting one, you can play with models, you can play with plans, sketching, drawing. So this is like really the fun part. And then you also have a lot of explanations, presentations, analysis. So it's a very like complete field of study.
Does it also involve like a lot of sketching? Because I'm not really good with it, but
No, you don't have to be good at sketching. I was actually very bad. You can learn it, and maybe you will not even need it somehow.
well, thank you so much for this. I will try to find the building then, and I hope you have a nice day.
Okay, good luck.
Thank you.
See you, maybe.
See you.
Hello there. You seem a bit lost. Is there anything I can help you with?
Hello. Well, I'm looking for this international office building, and I don't know, is this the right building?
I'm afraid you're in the wrong building, but don't worry, it's just a short walk away that way. And this is the veterinary medicine department, but you're welcome to come and take a look around.
You said veterinary medicine. Well, if this is not the right building, then can you tell me a little bit about it? Does it involve animals?
Yeah, the first 2 years we're more focused on the theory, but then we move on to lab work, which is much more interactive. And then we finally do some internships in different farms and clinics, and to get to experience the real practical side of our degree, which is also the most fun. And we all really enjoy it, and we really love what we do. I really recommend joining.
Well, it does seem interesting. And I'm just curious, like, how much time does it take to get this degree?
Well, it's one of the longest degrees there is. It's 6 years in total here in Estonia, but time goes by so fast, so you don't really notice.
Well, what I'm noticing right now, actually, is this, I don't know what it is, but I love animals myself. And can you tell me a little bit about it?
It's a cat skeleton, and we have plenty of those in our anatomy museum. There are lots of species, wild animals, domestic animals. It's impressive. I really recommend you to come and have a look around if you want.
Well, now I'm really curious to check it out, and I really hope I have the opportunity. Well, thank you so much.
Good luck finding the building.
I will try to find it.
Welcome.
Hope you have a nice day. Hello.
Hey,
I hope I finally found this international office building.
oh, the admissions office, you are almost there. It's this building. You just need to walk 1 minute and turn right, and you will be there. There's a board, just walk right in.
Okay.
Yeah.
So since this is not the place, what happens here?
Well, I am a student of a 2-year master's degree. It's called Environmental Governance. We have classes in different campuses, and some of our classes are here. Are you exploring your options for the future?
Well, actually, since you're asking, I'm trying to find this international office building in order to register myself in a degree so I can study in this university.
I'll take a moment to tell you about our program. If you are someone who's interested in protecting environment and stopping global warming on a policy level, whether it is on the global scale, the agreements we have at the international level or EU level, and you like science, this could be the program for you.
Oh, it does sound interesting, but at the same time, I don't know. It seems like a lot of responsibility. How do you manage?
Yeah, that's right. You know, this whole global warming thing, it is big and it's happening as we speak. So it does feel overwhelming. But I think if you begin to understand it, it tells you, the program tells you what we are learning every day in this degree, that there are things you can do on a policy level to change how we operate as a society. So yeah, you know, it is a lot, but you know, it gives you tools, it equips you how to take care of it.
Well, I'm interested right now. It clarifies a lot. So thank you so much for this.
Sure,
I will try to find this international office.
absolutely.
And well, I hope you have a nice day.
You too.
See you.
Thank you.
Thank
Right.
you. Hello there.
Hello. You look tired and exhausted.
Yeah, I am. You know why? Because
No.
well, I'm trying to find this international office building, which I hope it's this one. Is it?
Not here, but there.
Right there.
Yeah.
That's awesome. So if it's not here, then what is this?
This forestry building.
This is the forestry building?
Yes.
Well, I just happened to talk with this environmental governance
Okay.
guy, and well, the explanation he gave me, it seemed a little like involved forestry. Is there any similarities or differences?
Environmental governance covers the environment holistically, but planning and analysis in multifunctional forestry is centered around forest and forest activities. How you can the program is a 2-year program to prepare professionals that will take strategic decisions on how to manage forest and the resources you find in the forest.
It does sound challenging, because
Yeah,
I also
definitely.
noticed that this university has like this campus, and it's pretty big.
Yeah.
And I don't know, do you happen to have any like practical activities outside, like experimental?
Yes. Apart from the theoretical work, we also have practicals, we have field work, we have lab work. And because of the program, you take a lot of courses from several departments. You do data analysis. We do core forestry program like the anthropology, forest ecology, where you go out into the field to explore the forest and the environment at large. Also, in the course of the program, you do something that has to do with remote sensing, working with maps, seeing how you can represent what you found on the field on a spatial analytical state. So it's something very wide and interesting.
It does seem interesting.
Yeah.
And from what I heard until now, all this information that I've gathered from all these departments, even though I haven't found the international office,
Okay. It's just right there.
it's been pretty amazing.
Yeah.
All the information I've gathered.
Yeah.
Well, I'll think about this one too.
Please
Thank
give
you
it
so
a
much,
thought.
and I hope to see you around.
Yeah.
Have a nice day.
Looking forward to meeting you at EMU.
Thank you.
Bye.
Well, I couldn't be happier. The thing is, it's so incredible that what my objective was to find the international office building. And, well, I managed to find it. That's the truth. But the most important thing for me until now, the most amazing experience, was that I managed to, basically I was lost, and I managed to find different people from different departments that showed me so much information and a will to get more knowledge about all of them. But, well, I kind of chose one already because I managed to register myself in a degree. And it's interesting that this university, the Estonian University of Life Sciences, covers so many people, like it has so many people with different backgrounds, different cultures, with this huge campus where you can do a lot of sports. And there's also like events happening at the same time. And well, I don't have a lot of words to express what I'm feeling right now, but I think the essential is that I can't wait to start studying in this university, the Estonian University of Life Sciences. Will you join me in this new experience? Well, it was really nice to meet you guys until now, and the fact that I was lost and I have managed to find so many great people. And but still have a lot of some questions that I would like to ask you guys, if you can manage to answer me. I would really appreciate that. And well, first of all, and I will ask each of you, is that how has it been like how was your first experience here, like a first impression, and your experience so far until now? Starting with you, please.
Personally, I would say it's a mind-blowing experience.
Mind-blowing.
Yes, because on arrival on the campus, the university community, right from the students to the staffs, they were very welcoming. All you need to do is just to ask, and they will give you all the necessary assistance as a freshman within the community.
Okay, thanks. It's really interesting to hear. What about you?
For me, it was very overwhelming as well because
Overwhelming.
yeah, it's a very different country from the one I come from, but I was very happy to realize that I really like it and I'm really enjoying my time here. Everyone has been so welcoming. There are loads of events prepared for Erasmus students, for default degree students, for everyone to just find your place here, and loads of people from different backgrounds.
Okay, thanks. What about you?
For me, it matched my expectations because the marketing that we had on the website of Study in Estonia and also the university's website, it prepared us very well what to expect in terms of how the country is forested. It was so what I saw from my bus ride from Tallinn Airport to Tartu, it was greener, it was cleaner. And I loved the experience. And I think the university had a whole week prepared for us, orientation week, where they took us around the city, the campus, the library, the labs, just to sort of familiarize us as to what we will be, where we'll be spending our time. So it was nice. It was really nice.
It's really nice to hear. What about you?
Well, same for me. I felt at home quite quickly. Estonia I would describe it as a quiet place, very welcoming. So I was prepared to just come and discover something I completely did not knew about. It was a good experience to see that it was similar to the very few things I could read about it.
Well, I don't have a lot of experience, but the little that I can tell you is that, first of all, the fact that I met you and the information that you gave me, and I am really grateful for that. And, well, I noticed that the Estonia has a little bit of a different culture. Like, how have you been, how did you deal with that, or have been dealing until now? Like this, the people, the university, how did you integrate in that?
Quite easily, I think. People are quite reserved. That's what you hear, and that's true. But if you just want to break the ice, they are just people, and you can make friends easily. And you don't feel... I don't think you could feel rejected. It's like you feel at home very quickly.
You said break the ice. What is the easiest way to break the ice with the Estonians?
Well, if you come from a country where everybody is very open, then it will feel a bit odd at first. But I think you can just go to events, go to parties, go to places where people are willing to make new friends.
They are also really involved in different sports, and I think it's a great way to get to know Estonians.
Well, going by my own observation, an average Estonian looks forward to an activity that will bring you together.
Okay.
They try as much as possible. We'll take, for instance, if you have an Estonian in your class as classmate, that's an activity that brings you together from time to time.
Mm-hmm.
With time, they will get to relate with you. They will come out of their shell. So eventually you get to discover that they are very interesting set of
So
people.
essentially, there's like this.
An
at
activity
first,
have to bring you together.
you seem there's like this barrier, but then you manage to
Definitely.
get to know them better.
Definitely.
Oh, that's really nice to hear.
Yeah.
So
'Cause-
the more activities you are engaged in, the more Estonians you get to meet.
Well, I'm a little bit introverted myself. That's why I was wondering, like, sometimes I can just be more outgoing,
Yeah.
but I was afraid, like, how can I cause a good impression? Because that's so important
Definitely.
when you meet someone.
Definitely.
You also mentioned there's like sports happening around and also events. What kind of events do they have usually, or does it differ from year to year or
You know,
no?
in addition to what has been mentioned already, the university, the Estonian University of Life Sciences, they have a buddy program where there are buddies assigned to different batches of people who are coming in. And some of these guys, they are organizing events like taking the new students for a training session of disc golf. There's this thing
Disc golf?
very specific to Estonia. There's a ground right next to our campus, huge sprawling green place which becomes white, snow white during winters. So in autumn and summer we have these sessions that the university organizes, and in winters there is recently we did a ice skating training event where
There's ice skating.
yeah, there's a rink in the downtown. So we were all of the students we were taken to this place where they arranged the skates. There was a teacher, and really helped us get our skating legs, so to speak. So that's nice.
Okay, that's a
But
nice way to put it, actually.
If you're not an outdoors kind of person, there's also more choices like
Yeah,
floorball,
indoor activities.
basketball, volleyball. And mostly I'd say basketball and volleyball are very big here. But there are options for everyone.
So can just a student that enters the university can just join whatever sport he wants, she wants.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, that's really nice because well, I like sports myself, and I was wondering like what kind of sports they have here, and I was thinking about joining maybe a club, at least. But anyways, it's. Well, another question that I have that I was like thinking about it is that, well, you can do sports here. There's events happening, but and you also mentioned the weather, right? Like how have you been coping with the weather? Because there's like different. There's the winter, which I've heard that sometimes it's really harsh, and there's the summer. How did you manage the difference?
Like I was told before my arrival in Estonia, there is this saying that there is no bad weather. You can only have a bad
There's no
clothing.
bad weather?
Yeah, you can only have a bad
Okay.
clothing. It's a matter of dressing well for whichever weather you find yourself. In as much you have the appropriate clothing, I'm very sure you will definitely survive.
Okay.
Take my case for an instance. I'm from the tropical region, somewhere in Africa,
Mm-hmm.
always hot all through the year. But since I arrived in Estonia with the right clothing, I've been able to manage.
Well, a good question would be like, what made you come to Estonia?
I desire to see world outside Africa. Because if you look at Africa as a whole, the difference within the whole of Africa is not that much.
I believe. Well, I've never been to Africa, but
Okay.
well, since I'm in Estonia right now,
Yeah.
maybe one day I'll pass by and
You-
explore the
You
opposite.
will definitely enjoy
climate.
it.
What about you guys? Do you feel the same way?
Well,
Please.
in relation to the weather, it was hard at first to get used to it, but it's what he says. If you get dressed appropriately, you can survive. And also taking vitamin D, of course.
Vitamin D. Okay, I've heard that it's really important. Okay, I'll keep that in mind. Is it the same for you guys?
Well, if you come here, you are expecting harsh winters, don't you? But
That's
yeah,
true, that's
just
true.
pick a good beanie, pick a good coat with you, and everything will be fine. It's true that in winter the activity level reduces a bit because, like for instance, at the deepest point in December, nights shut down at 3:30 or something. So you don't move as much and you stay more at home.
Things start to freeze, right?
Right. And you also.
Literally.
But um, and autumn also dropped in exactly one day, like exactly one night, in the end of August this year. So you have to expect some stuff different from your own country, probably.
So since there's like this adversity of the winter, which, well, I assume that it's more difficult to go outside. How do you manage with the like going to classes and coming home? And in terms of accessibility, how does it work? Like even with the ice, I've heard that there's this thing about the black ice. It's really dangerous. How do you manage with it? Please.
Oh, well, when the snow and the ice season started, we were told about the penguin walk, and that's how you
Penguin
cope
walk.
with the slippery slopes. So yeah, as long as you get used to it. It is difficult for me, coming from Pakistan. We don't have conditions like that. But I think the university does a great job in preparing you mentally as to what things you can do. As my colleagues mentioned, clothing. And events, continue. Yes, there are less of those, compared to summer and autumn. But they make sure, like the city center in Christmas, it lights up. There are like 3-4 weeks of activities, and it's a very vibrant place, Tartu's city center.
And is there any place like you can, like everyone gathers? Like is there some like a special place?
Yeah, the city center happens to be where
the city
everyone
center,
goes
yeah.
to, right? You guys can add.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Tartu, it's a small town, but there are always some things going on. So when you go out, you eventually end up seeing people you know from university or from sports. So it's like a big family in a town, I'd say.
Okay. Well, that's really nice to hear. And I just remember something that a friend of mine told me, that for some reason, when you have someone at night behind the lamp, like behind the light, sorry, and it just stands there, someone comes and recites to you a poem. Is it true? Did it happen to you?
Heard
Never.
anything about that?
Never?
I've never heard about it.
But-
And I've never heard about like anything creepy of somebody behind the light. Actually, it's a very safe place. So
Oh yeah, that's really nice to
Yes.
mention. That you mentioned. Do you feel safe at night? Can you just go out?
yes, yes,
I
this
can
feels
Even for-
relate
for
my own
women.
personal experience.
Really?
The first day I arrived at Tartu, I go to my dorm around past 1 a.m.
Okay.
As a matter of fact, on arrival at the bus terminal, it's as good as the whole activities for the day have shut down. But fortunately, I ran into a fellow student who is already in the system, sorry. He asked me what was my mission, and I told him. Fortunately for me, we reside in the same dorm, and he made sure I got to the dorm safely. He gave me a ride down to the dorm.
That's really amazing.
So for you to know that at any time of the day, you don't have any fear of harassment, robbery, or any sort of social biases within the university and outside the university community as a whole,
As you mentioned that, like that's why I was asking, like
Yeah.
if you also feel safe.
irrespective of your gender, be it male or female.
Yeah,
Doesn't
as a woman,
matter.
I can say I can walk very safely in the street. Doesn't matter the time of the day. I also particularly really like to go out at night, and I've never had any fear of
Any problems until
coming
now.
back, even
Okay.
when I'm alone. So
That's really important. Well, in terms of like going out and stuff, I don't know how does it work in terms of, because I know that Estonia, like in terms of living expenses, it's a little bit different. Is it affordable still, like to students? Is there I don't know, there's probably like discounts and stuff for them, but how does it work for you guys? Do you feel that you need to, it's more expensive in Estonia than in other places, or not?
Do you want me to take that?
Yeah,
Go.
please.
I think when it comes, frankly, over the past couple of years, with the global inflation, prices have been going up here as well. But if you compare the tuition and the accommodation costs and the grocery costs to other Nordic countries or other places, without taking any names, you would see that this is still a very competitive place. And when it comes to our universities, especially Estonian University of Life Sciences, it ranks among the top 1% universities in the world. So I think it's a great proposition for studies, and you guys can feel free to
Now
add.
that you mention accommodation, here the dormitory of this university also has a very affordable price for students. So I'm very happy to be living there.
Okay, that's really important.
Sum it
That's
up, or I would
essentially what I
say
was
you
gonna
get
ask.
value for money.
Value for money.
Yeah.
That's a nice expression. Thanks. Well, I was asking about accommodation, but since you guys already mentioned it, and it's affordable. Well, what's bugging me now? It's well, in terms of, well, if it's affordable, and I already spoke about it, like accessibilities. But in terms of like, if you need to buy something, is there like an easy way to get it, like to buy your stuff, like groceries and coming home? How does it work?
Well, as Alba said, most students live in the dormitory, and there are quite many shops close to there. But if you want to get groceries for more affordable prices, you better get a bus card and go to the city center, where the bigger malls are located.
Okay. So is it also easy to get to the center?
Yes,
The
it
city
is.
center.
It is. Tartu is formed along the river and the main road, so the accessibility is quite nice. You can rent bikes from the city, especially in summer,
Okay.
and it's like the buses works quite well. So
Very
So-
frequently.
Mm.
And by walk, it's just 25 minutes away. So
of course,
there are many options to get to the city center.
So it's easy to get there.
Very
Okay.
easy.
Well, it's I was thinking about something that, no pun intended, but I heard that like there's this thing like Estonia is kind of flat. I don't know if you guys feel that way in terms of the way, like, when I say this, what I mean is that you have all this transportation that it's easy to get to the center, and also the bikes, which is, well, good for exercise, and if it's available for everyone, it's good. In terms of like walking around, do you also feel that it's like easy to walk around the city?
yes.
Yeah.
Hikes here are very common. We
There's also hikes.
yeah, we organize
Please, tell me more about
hikes
it.
every weekend. So yes, Estonia is flat, but I think it's also a very good advantage because you get to walk a lot and don't get that tired.
Okay, that's really important, because I was wondering like about the hikes, since you mentioned it. It's interesting because I know one of the first things that I noticed when I arrived here is that like there's a lot of forest around, and it's so important to have all these trees, because in the world there's some places we can see that forest has been like cut down more and
Yeah.
more, and the fact that this has been maintained, and especially with the forest people, in a way that it makes like more balanced the space. It was really for me like really important to see, because the place I'm come from, we still have this management, and there's a way to try to manage it better, more and more. But the problem is the vegetation that exists there, that has been implemented, and the native one has been cut down. And I noticed that here there's essentially like native vegetation.
Estonians, by the way, take great pride in their forests.
Yeah,
you-
that's
and even though it's a digital society, very technologically advanced, if you go to government offices, things get done digitally. You don't have to. Even though initially there is some paperwork involved, but much of the stuff happens fast because it is all on computers, even compared to other European countries.
So if you want to
so-
like register here, does it also happen like, is it easy to register yourself in this society?
Surprisingly, yeah. I mean, if when you arrive here, there is some paperwork involved. Actual like hard copies where you have to fill in stuff. But overall, if you decide to live here longer for studies, there's a lot of the processes are digitized. So despite that, they are very much invested in their forests. Half of the country is forested, by the way.
Half of the country.
Yeah, almost 50%, and they love going on hikes. I love the hikes. Yeah.
Well, I want to try the hiking too now, right now. That's why I was thinking about it.
You'll have a lot of hikes if you join us.
Is there a lot of places where you can hike since there's like 50%
We
forest?
have a lot of field trips. to
Really?
See places.
Field trips?
Yes.
Can you
we
tell me
join
more about it?
Forestry.
Can you tell me more about it, this field trips? Where, like, do you go to?
As part of the program, you have opportunity of visiting the state forestry.
Mhm.
You have the opportunity of visiting industries where forest resources are being used, like newspaper industry, pulp making industry, timber processing industry.
Okay.
So it's just like the last field trip we went to Kunda.
Hmm.
If not for forestry, I don't know what I will find to Kunda. That's just the truth about it.
Wow.
And Kunda happens to be a border town.
Mm-hmm.
Right in Kunda, you'll be looking at Finland ahead of you
Oh, that's
for you to know how far we went.
not really going to go there.
Yeah, it will be nice.
You can access most of those places by free buses as well.
There's
which
free
is
buses?
Yeah, there are
Very
free
convenient
buses.
for
Sorry about
students.
this, but I was just something that it doesn't happen in my country.
Yeah, that's one of the reasons why we organize at least one hike per weekend.
Mm.
So it's a good balance between nightlife and then to get in touch with nature as well. We do everything here.
So let me see if I got it. You can get a free bus to somewhere that
To
it's
some
not
locations.
Tartu,
Yeah,
in
to
this
some
case.
locations.
and just hike there, and then come back in a free bus
Yeah.
Mhm.
whenever you want.
Well, you will have to check the
The
timetable.
bus has walking
Of
hours.
course, yeah. But can you imagine? Well, that's really new to me because like seeing this, and I'm getting like super excited right now. But I don't know. I really want to try all those things, and it seems like I'm getting a little bit overwhelmed by that. But so basically, the question that I have right now, like, since there's all of these things that you can do, how do you manage with the classes? Is it like the schedule? Is it too tight for you guys, or how does it work? I don't know if it depends also in the department. For example, landscape architecture.
In landscape architecture, usually you would have a Monday or a Friday free.
Okay.
So you can choose to have a 3 days weekend if you don't have too much work, or you can just do your personal job on this day and enjoy your weekends. So usually it's quite well balanced. And you also have like sometimes it's in the evening, as most courses ends at 6 p.m.
Around 6.
Yeah, so it's not like too tiring and getting into the evenings, so you can also go out during the week.
I mean, I believe that since you mentioned it, like real quick, like the winter, like when the sun sets
Mm.
earlier. Well, you already said that it's like safe and so on, but I was wondering, like, if you does it have, like, since the campus is so big, is there like a lot of distance between going to the class, like the buildings, and then the facility where you live, basically? Is it
Mm,
like there's easy access too between
all
all of
within
those?
walking distance.
The whole campus.
Yeah.
Yes, it is.
Okay, that's really important.
Even though it's a big campus, you can get everywhere by walk.
Okay, thanks.
And least I forget, in Estonia, we prepare to see all manner of animals that you don't get to see in
Really?
your country. Yeah.
I've heard
Some
that,
of my
like,
classmates told me they've seen bear along the way.
a bear.
Yeah, bear.
I've also heard that, like, this. I don't know. I'm not sure, but I think it's a fox that belongs
Yeah.
to
Yeah.
the university, right?
Yeah.
University fox. Okay. Well, I hope to see her because, like I
also
said,
do
in
not be
veterinary
scared when you see
medicine.
one.
No, I don't know. Because, like I said, in the veterinary medicine, I love animals myself, and I was really looking forward to see more like wildlife
Yeah, you get to see
which
more
is
of
not so
that.
common in where I live. And well, there's so much stuff to do. I don't even know. Like, there's so much to process. But if well, I asked about landscape architecture, and what about the other departments? Like, in terms of schedule, how does it work? Like, with so many activities working, like, happening.
Yeah, it is. It requires, definitely requires time management. You have your classes, and they have different schedules. Sometimes we have class in the morning, 8 o'clock.
But in terms
Not-
of environmental governance,
yeah, environmental governance classes, because this program is a joint collaboration between University of Tartu and Estonian University of Life Sciences. So sometimes we have classes in Tartu University, and sometimes we have classes in EMU, which is the abbreviation for Estonian University of Life Sciences. But I think you manage. I mean, unlike landscape architecture, we don't always have a Monday or a Friday free. But the way they are structured, we don't have a day packed with classes. It's nicely spread out throughout the week. So you have two classes, maybe on a Monday, and then one on Tuesday, maybe a couple on Wednesday, so on and so forth. So it is doable, it's manageable, it requires some planning, but you work it out. You enjoy it. You enjoy the classes and what you're learning here.
does it also work like that in veterinary medicine?
Yes, we have plenty of courses, but as he said, they are evenly spread out, and you always have time to do your hobbies as well, like sports or going out with friends even during the week. Because, like he also said, at 6 most courses are over, so
Okay.
you have the whole evening to yourself.
I would say that forestry happens the same, more or less.
Yeah, but the advantage of forestry is that apart from your own personal leisure time, because of the coursework also, you get to move around. If you are not at the forest, you go on field trip or the other. So
Okay.
in between the lectures also, there
There's
are
like
opportunities-
excursions that
yes,
you also do.
Yes, you get to see places, meet people, know more about the Estonian society as a whole.
That's awesome.
I'd like to add here, unlike some other countries, there is no restriction on working for students. So as long as your work does not affect your studies and your grades are good, you can study on the side to earn some pocket money. And you could do that by managing your time well. Or maybe even during weekdays, in the evening or morning, whatever works for your schedule, and in the weekends, over the weekend as well. So I think that is a big advantage of studying in Estonia.
Okay.
Teachers are very understanding as well, so if you need any help or any issues with your studies, they can help you out and try to figure out a middle point in between.
The fact that you mentioned that makes me want to do everything. Because there's time, like it's so important. The fact that we have all of this accessibility, it's so easy to walk around. There's the possibility of getting free buses
Yeah.
to go to different places and to visit the 50% of forest in Estonia, which is incredible, by the way, just to mention it again. And to meet like so many different people, like you are from, as I can tell, like from different cultures. And do you happen to? Well, my question is basically like I've noticed that this university in like Tartu itself seems to have a lot of like people from different cultures. Do you feel that that it's better that way, like more diverse? And do you feel that the Estonians accept it? I don't know if it's a good question, but
Who wants to go?
Well, maybe I can.
I
If
would
it's-
say in as much you are
Yeah?
law abiding,
how?
in as much you are law abiding,
Okay, but
majority of Estonians will welcome you.
really,
Yeah. Because
from wherever
the
you
truth
were.
is that for every society you find yourself, that is a culture.
Okay.
In as much you try as much as possible to integrate yourself into the system, you won't have any issues.
Okay, that's really important again, because Well, all of these factors that I'm mentioning is something that stuff that bothers me a little bit or worries that
Okay.
like coming here and like feeling that I need to take a step back, and the fact that there's all of this like acceptance and welcoming.
Yeah.
I'm already so grateful for that. The fact that you gave me that information, I feel more welcomed in a sense.
I think he wanted to add a point.
Yeah, go
Well,
ahead.
he said everything, so.
Well, I would say that maybe I have one last question,
Okay.
which is, well, since I'm like kind of a stranger here, right? And I feel that I will be able to integrate this new like in this experience in this university with all of you guys.
Definitely.
And what I want to ask is, for future students, for future people that come here and would like to experience the same, do you have like something they would like to say to them? Each one of you, please, like if you have something deep, like a short message from
Starting with him?
starting
Well,
from you, yeah, please.
It's extremely simple, but if you are still hesitating to do it, just jump on.
Just do it.
Just do it. Just feel free, and I can promise you it's going to be a good experience. Anyway.
Okay. What about you?
You know, in my experience, the university again really prepares you well. So if you are coming here, what we have on the website, very detailed stuff. If when you go, when you have been accepted, they even send you a PDF that covers everything about where to get your grocery, post office, public transport, bikes. You know, the bike system that was mentioned earlier. You know, everything is in there. So I think going through that material that the university provides, that really helps you mentally prepare as to what to expect once you arrive here.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, they make everything so easy for you to adapt. And I think it's so important from time to time to just get out of your comfort zone and explore different countries that you might not know a lot about, but they will surprise you.
Getting out of the comfort zone. That's a really nice point.
And to sum it all, I would say when you are coming to Estonia, come with an open mind.
With an open mind.
Yeah, that will help you a lot.
Don't forget that. Come with an open mind. Think out of the box. And well, come visit Estonia and the Estonian University of Life Sciences. Thank you so much for following us once more. And thank you.
My colleague has said it's been a pleasure talking about Estonia and about the Estonian University of Life Sciences with you. And we hope to see you soon. It's been a real pleasure and nägemist.
Nägemist.
And as we say in Estonia, thank you, just so you know. Aitäh!